Today we will be talking about the color wheel tool. So here is a color wheel that looks like. So you can see its colors there. So I see it's red, then green, the lime color, and there's blue. And then what we have between are the white, cyan, and the magenta color. So basically, there are more fundamentals of each state that they can use is to generate for those colors. It's like kinda hues, but people know about, like whenever you're using the RGB color scale, that says the remote tells you that you should convert those colors that way, like from a wheel. It is basically full because it always stays the number 255, and only one color that it moves is like it's like how you convert with the other color, but not basically with the whole real aspect of those fundamental with the whole other colors. Okay, so what you guys know is about the color wheel tool, interactive color wheel generator and chart online. So on the left side of the grid, here is the color wheel, which represents as it is a hue of those colors. Here is the saturation and the luminance, and that square is for you to tell like how the color looks like. Alright, so on the bottom left, here it says hex, RGB, and HSL, which represents as HSL called hue, saturation, and luminance. And I already know the part RGB, red, green, blue. And over here, you can see how it represents go along from the color wheel. It says complementary, split complementary, analogous, triad, square, tetrad, monochromatic, and similar. So which you can represent about, it usually has its own details about like its own color that it represents to us. So today we are going to say with the details about with this color that we chose. So here we're going to go for the color green because it is my favorite color. Alright, and then so what it says that the hue number represents us from the color wheel, as you can see, is the line that is used on the very top part ahead. It means like if you're going back to the number 0, because it is most likely like how it turns, like how many degrees, but you can know about like within your directions. So here it says that it can only go all the way up to 360 degrees and go back to 0. Okay, so this is how a color looks like to me. And here on the left side, so we're going to, so if I turn the luminance all the way up to 0%, and the colors became all black. So if I turn the luminance all the way to 100%, and it became the color white. Alright, So we're going to do the saturation and back to 50%. So here, it's like how a saturation goes like that. It's usually as if the color can become gray. It's usually got a point, so but the generator seems it's like how gray color goes. It's like the mids color as a part of a saturation, but it's really as not as colorful. So alright, so let's focus on the bottom side. So here's the hex, but it means it's like for the color that basically can it be coded right after the hashtag. So it says over here 00 double F 00, cause you mean like the letter F. It's trying to like as it divides, it's like a part of calculation, but it's usually kind of part of science and math though, but I guess if I never done that like from school. Okay, so here's the RGB. So there are just the code, like the scale. It says it's only 255, and then the HSL, which can already know as we represented by that, because we know it's like the hue and the saturation and the luminance are just a part of the scales for the HSL value. So here, if we already know about this color, then we're gonna talk about like for the technical details. So here's the complementary. So complementary, what it means, it's like a color that can go from a different opposite direction. It's like a much valuable from the color wheel. It says it's like how it can even go straight, but that is just in the other part of color theory. But it can go onto the opposite direction, like in straight ways. So here it says the color that we saw that earlier. Alright, and split complementary. So basically we started already from this color. Okay, so I guess they already know about this color, like how can a color goes like divide onto those three parts like that. And we have the analogous, because I just honestly know about those analogous colors. It's part of real though, but it is not as quite as it can get close like from the triad or the tetrad. But I'm just gonna say that instead you should leave me down in the comments below, because I forgot what is the sense about analogous. So we have triad. Okay. Why looks so different? Why did I have those differences? Okay, square. Yup, because I chose this color. Because even though right over there, it looks kind of usually different than the blue thing though. So I don't know that that this part says like from the color wheel, because the square it's usually fours though, like it has to be between like 1 and 1 and on, because I just noticed like how the colors might even get its own different distances, like from the part, but is usually becoming like from each other. Okay, so tetrad. So for this, the second color and the third color, actually no, I basically can know about those colors, because even though this one here I see is the orange square, and then usually that's a part of it, we will move on to monochromatic. One color. That's how it says that it usually has to divide by its words, like from like a Latin base on like for a definition. Because yeah, so monochromatic, we always start from the middle color, and what we know, it's like from the luminance, because it has to be mixed via valuable color like black and white, or we'll just say tone and shade. There we go. It's quite as easy as me. Then similar, because they dramatically knew about this color, like from the very left side onto those squares, because that one it looks like pretty comfortless, or like for that color, as we can saw by that, it's like even though when we're using it on like different kind of typical light for that, I just already knew about this, because otherwise, because my favorite part of that is only about the RGB, and I do know is about the color wheel. Alright, so make sure that if you're focusing on like from the color theory, and thank you guys for watching, make sure you subscribe and write down in the comments below about like from the interactive color wheel, generator, and chart online. It's about the color wheel, and we will see you again next time.